Imagine lying awake, not just for one restless night, not for a week or a month, but for 4 decades. No dreams, no snoozing alarms, no tumbling into bed to catch a few hours of coveted rest. This is not science fiction or a strange exaggeration. This has been the everyday reality for one woman, nicknamed by locals in her small town as the Sleepless Wonder. Meet Lin Nguyen, a 70-year-old woman living in the highlands of Vietnam. Lin hasn't slept a single night since 1983. That's over 14,000 nights of wakefulness, wide-eyed through rising and setting suns, silent streets, and ticking clocks. Doctors, scientists, and insomniacs alike are left baffled by her story. How is Lin alive, let alone thriving, without the one thing universally agreed to be critical for our survival? Sleep? Let's start with how it all began. Lin's sleepless life didn't happen overnight. In fact, she vividly remembers the last time she slept. It was 1983 and she came down with a high fever. She recovered after several weeks, but something changed. At first it was subtle. She couldn't drift off despite feeling tired. Hours of staring at the ceiling turned into nights, then weeks, then months. Desperate and disoriented, Lin sought help from local healers, herbal remedies, and even shamans. Nothing worked. Weeks turned into years. While any average person would crumble into exhaustion after just a few consecutive sleepless nights, Lin's body seemed fine. She never suffered from fainting spells, hallucinations, or mental collapse. In fact, her energy levels seemed steady. Over time, Lin realized that she wasn't merely struggling with insomnia. Her body had somehow bypassed its need for sleep entirely. The baffling phenomenon caught the attention of local doctors, and word of Lin's condition spread. Medical professionals took note of her case, unsure whether to categorize it as a neurological anomaly, a miracle, or something entirely unknown. Years later, researchers who visited her would measure her vitals, brain activity, and hormone levels. To their amazement, they frequently found no signs of harm from her lack of sleep. Her heart rate, cognitive function, and reflexes were all normal for someone who, by every definition, should have been severely sleep-deprived. So, what is the science or mystery behind Lin's condition? We know that sleep serves as an essential function for all humans. It's during deep sleep that the brain processes memories, restores energy, and facilitates cell repair. Going without sleep for long stretches can lead to a cascade of health issues, including high blood pressure, impaired immunity, and even hallucinations. So, how has Lin defied these basic biological truths? There are some theories, though none have thoroughly explained her condition. One idea suggests that Lin might not technically be awake 24/7. Some doctors believe her body may enter brief micro-sleep phases during moments of rest, when she lies down or closes her eyes, even when she doesn't perceive herself to be asleep. Microsleeps are fleeting states where the brain essentially takes power naps, lasting seconds at a time. Could these unconscious moments be providing Lin with the restoration her body needs? Another possible explanation is an incredibly rare neurological trait that allows Lin's brain to bypass the need for traditional REM sleep. Scientists liken it to the way some animals, like whales and dolphins, allow one hemisphere of the brain to rest while the other remains active. When asked if she dreams, though, Lin is quick to answer, "No, I don't see anything when I close my eyes." And her nights are not filled with images or surreal visions. They're a blank slate of quiet reflection. Despite the scientific curiosity surrounding her, Lin isn't all that concerned with unlocking the mystery herself. To her, it's simply how life has unfolded. In her own way, she has found peace in her perpetual wakefulness. A typical day for Lin begins before the sun rises. She tends to her garden, prepares food, and tends to family errands while others sleep. But it's the nights that are most unique. While the world falls silent and the sky blackens, Lin watches the stars, listens to the sounds of nature, and occasionally writes in her journal. Over the years, she's learned to embrace this solitude as a gift, not a curse. She notes with a wry smile that it gives her time to get everything done. "I've lived every extra hour," she jokes, "and I never run out of time for anything." It isn't just about stillness, though. Lin also spends her nights helping her neighbors. When a villager down the road had a baby and couldn't rest, Lin offered to stay awake with the newborn. too born for night shifts. During her hometown's harvest season, she's known for working overtime packaging produce, filling baskets in the hours when her peers are fast asleep. Some even say her tireless nature has boosted her small community's economy. She's revered for her almost supernatural stamina, though she shrugs off the praise. "I don't feel special," she says. "I just don't sleep." Still, challenges remain. Lynn admits she sometimes wonders what it would feel like to drift back into a soft, warm sleep again. "I miss dreaming the most," she says quietly, her gaze distant. Even so, the reality of her condition has shaped her perspective on life. Lynn describes time as a constant companion now, ever-flowing and uninterrupted by the breaks of slumber. She has learned to fill each moment thoughtfully, appreciating the beauty and mundanity. Her condition may never be fully explained. Some believe it's an exceptional medical case worth further investigation, while others describe her sleeplessness in more spiritual terms, suggesting it's the result of some mystical balance in her soul. Lynn, however, simply views herself as adaptable. She doesn't lament what others might call a missing piece of life. She instead celebrates what stays with her, her relentless energy, curiosity, and above all, resilience. For the rest of us, Lynn's story prompts an uncomfortable realization. We often take the precious hours of sleep for granted. It is so embedded in our daily lives that the idea of its absence feels almost impossible to imagine. And yet, in Lynn's world, sleeplessness has become her identity, her challenge, and her gift. She has redefined what it means to rest, turning it from a bodily requirement into a mental state of peace and stillness. As scientists continue to decipher the mysteries of sleep and consciousness, Lynn's case remains an extraordinary reminder of the complexity and adaptability of the human body. For 40 years, she has defied the rules of biology. But for Lynn Nguyen, her life is more than a medical curiosity. It's a testament to the strength of the human spirit, awake and persevering through the endless hours of the night. So tonight, as you pull up the covers and let sleep gently take over, spare a thought for Lynn. She will be wide awake, perhaps tending to her garden or looking up at the twinkling stars. In her own words, "I'll keep watch while the world dreams."